Hello, hello. Welcome to, well, it's usually Wellness Wednesday, but today is Thursday, Thankful Thursday, or I like to call it Thinkful Thursday. And tonight we are going to talk about the more you learn, the more you earn. My name is Dawn Howell, and my specialty is health, wellness, and well-being. And I'm coming to you from Concord, Ohio. Please let me know where you're joining in from. And if you're watching me for the first time, comment number 2 so I can circle back. Like to get to know you better. And I'd love to know what personal development books are you reading to or listening to at this time. You know, I talk about this topic all the time. And I kind of just wanted to share how I start my mornings and just some personal development tips and just how very true it is that the more you learn, the more you earn. Because as my mentor Jim Rohn says, your income seldom exceeds your personal development. So we must be learning and growing if we want our income to grow as well. So very important. And a little bit about me. I am an office worker and I'm about to have my 24th anniversary. And it's funny because I'm a recruiter and place people in job opportunities. And a lot of the people I'm hiring are 18 to, well, all ages, but as young as 18. And of course, I've been at my job almost 24 years. So we get a chuckle out of it that I've been there longer than they've been alive. But it's so very true that when I was just working the job, and then coming home, right, and, I had kids and cooking dinner and, watching a few shows and going to sleep, my income did not grow because I wasn't growing. And now these past 2 years on my entrepreneurial journey, everything has changed. And so I want to talk a little bit about that and share some of the books I'm currently reading, and I'm always looking to grow my library. Someone had a post today and it said, it was something like, no matter how many blank you have, you always want more. And I put on there personal development books because I am collecting them and reading them and sharing with my team. My business partner, Guy Rolando, he wrote Discovering Your Authentic Truth. Amazing. And I like to gift that book to my new business partners and highly recommend it. So again, Jim Rohn, if you are not familiar, he is incredible. He was the mentor to Tony Robbins. And I wake up every day on YouTube. I'm either listening to Earl Shoaff, who was the mentor to Jim Rohn. I'm listening to Jim Rohn or to Tony Robbins. And most recently, Fraser Brooks thankfully introduced to me and just getting such incredible value. Here's his book, I Dare You, and I Double Dare You is up on my nightstand because I've been reading that in the evenings. Fraser is absolutely incredible. And the funny thing is about him is, here's his picture. He's out of Dubai, and he looks like and sounds like, except with the accent, exactly like my son that I am estranged from. And they're the same age, actually. He's 5 weeks older than my son. But it's kind of weird as I'm training with him and doing these different challenges and stuff. It's kind of like being with my son in a weird kind of way. So Fraser's the son, my other son. And then I also got his book, The Tracker. So this is wonderful. And again, personal development, guys, so very important. So you want to live as if you will die tomorrow, but learn as if you will live forever, right? That's a quote by Gandhi. And that is how I am living. I am learning as if I will live forever. I think so many people, this is where people miss the mark. And I know, there's lack of time, lack of confidence, lack of money, or family commitments, and you think you're too busy and you don't have time, or you think, I'm done with school, I'm done learning. I'm here to tell you guys, it's so very important, because unless you change, you're going to be in the same spot 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I'm proof positive of that with my job of 24 years, and I was just over broke, no joke. We were doing okay, but I was never going to have time and financial freedom. Now, 2 years into my entrepreneurial journey, and it is difficult for me being chained to that 8 to 5, and knowing, that my home office is here, and, having to touch base with my team on lunch breaks, or, on the way to work, or in the evenings. And once you open your mind and get rid of the limiting beliefs and know that the only thing stopping you are your limiting beliefs, everything changes. So reach out to me. I'd love to chat further. I don't want to get this too long tonight, but I want you to know endless opportunities are available. But most people simply do not understand how crucial and that learning and growing is. It's just so very important. So you want to ask yourself, how much time do you invest in your professional and personal development each year, right? And, I gave up watching TV 2 years ago. I watch very few shows. Sometimes, yes, I do need a digital detox. But, I work the 8 to 5. I do my jazzercise. I'm very intentional with my time, but I never, ever don't schedule in time for personal development. And it's so very important. And as I'm learning and growing, and trust me, I have a lot of learning and growing to still do, but my income is growing with it. So many people never invest in learning and growing. And these people usually fail to develop an income that continues to grow. Jim Rohn taught, back in the 80s, that your income seldom exceeds your personal development. So if nothing else, put that quote up. Your income seldom exceeds your personal development. And what I love about my opportunity is you earn as you learn. And I've known this for years and always saying it, but a lot of people don't realize that failing is a good thing, and you've got to stumble along the way. It's how you learn. This is episode 85 for me, and I'm not one. I don't like to have my picture taken. I don't like to be on video, but here I am. And, and I have found a product that's helped me with that as well. It did push me out of my comfort zone and gave me the energy and the clarity to also go to jazzercise, which is something I wouldn't have done. So I'm also learning and growing in that way as well, because taking care of yourself is so very important. So when you learn a new skill, you broaden the opportunities that open up to you. At the same time, it's empowering you as an individual. So it's just so very important. Again, so many people have discovered in their journey to success, when you are determined to overcome these things, there's nothing can stop you, and I love being on this journey with so many like-minded people. It's just so inspiring every day, because nothing will stop us. We have we're focused, we know where we're going, and you are able to break down those barriers that once seemed impossible. So we generally change ourselves for one or two reasons, as Jim Rohn says: inspiration or desperation. And Jim Rohn chose inspiration. So did I. And my passion is inspiring others really to see that you can have it all. Your income can grow as you grow. And again, the more you learn, the more you earn. So that's my message for you guys tonight. what you become is far more important than what you get. And I love this about Jim Rohn. If you don't know who he is, you've got to watch. I'm going to attach the link from the YouTube I watched this morning, and then from there, hopefully you get hooked on just every morning. I can't wait to, as I'm getting ready for work, I'm listening to Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins, and it's so very inspiring. But this is what he always says is the important question to ask on the job is not what am I getting? Instead, you should ask, what am I becoming? That says it all, you know. You have to have more, you've got to become more than you are. And unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got. So we have to make the decision to change ourselves. And I know so many people are just comfortable, right? Like, or I don't want to say lazy because that's not the right word. I think we just get comfortable and we think, you know, I say this all the time, this is how my grandparents did it, or this is how my parents, this is how I was raised, this is it for me. You know, other people can have everything, but not me. I'm here to tell you you can, and reach out to me. My business page is Living Well with Dawn Howell. I do most of my posts on there and in my group, Living Well, Even When Things Aren't Well. I'd love to connect. Please share with me what you're reading, what you're doing for personal development, because as I'm going to keep reading every day, I want to keep adding to my library, and I want to keep inspiring everyone I can to know that you really can have it all. And so please reach out to me. Again, my name is Dawn Howell. My specialty is health, wellness, and well-being, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. All right, I'll see you all soon.